Max was punching up. My Enchantress is actually a rank 3. He was using a 7-star rank 2 Luke Cage, and he still got a score of 48,500. That is a very, very score. Going to win you a lot of Battlegrounds matches, and he was punching up. Highly skilled player, but punching up. That's what Luke is capable of. Hey, welcome back to the channel. All right, Luke Cage is a bad, bad man. I mean, I knew he was good when the Buff went live and covered it. I've done the Spicy Meter video showing you like why he is so good, why we have him so incredibly highly rated. Now it's time for the showcase. This is a bad, bad man. We'll talk about how to use him. We're going to show him in Battlegrounds. We're going to show him in Question. We're going to show him in Long Form. We're going to show him in Crucible. We're going to show him everywhere. Let's go. Let's get to it. We're going up against this Kindred. This is Battlegrounds. I play about Mysterium 1 through Mysterium 3, sometimes in Quantum. If I play a ton, I'm up in low levels of Celestial. This is just how it is, okay? This is a 6-star rank 5 Ascended. Those of you who have fought Kindred know they do not have a large health pool. They do not have a large health pool. So a 7-star rank 3, not going to look that different. You're wondering why? Why is it that not going to look that different? Well, like I said, the health pool's not that different, right? Not that much larger, not a big health pool on Kindred. But we're stacking up our exhaustions here, and I'll talk about how to play Luke as we go. We've got up the Sunder, which takes crit resistance all the way down to 0. That's why Luke can crit so well against so many champions that we know have high crit resistance. He goes so darn fast, Luke, and he just slow down sometimes. The special 2, consume up to 5 personal exhaustion debuffs to inflict a concussion debuff for 25 seconds, reducing ability accuracy by 15%. And I know you math wizards out there like, that's only 75% Vega. Thanks. We know that the way this is going to work is we're going to get that 25% chance and Kindred's going to kill us. Well, against Mystic opponents, you gain an additional concussion debuff if 5 exhaustions were consumed. So we have a 150% chance to not let Kindred do his little dread aura thing. Do I think I've won? Yes, I do think I've won. You're about to see. Here we go. We're going to go and land our exhaustions. And just in case it's, I forget for some reason here, Luke Cage gains, let's make this rank 3. I've got this at the wrong rank here. Luke Cage is going to gain 1,785 at rank 3 as a 7-star attack rating for each unique debuff on the opponent. Luke Cage will gain 892 attack rating for each non-unique debuff. So for all of these stacking debuffs we're getting, it's going up. All right, now this is against Serpent, and I've been talking to you about this a lot. Serpent is a hot button issue, and I get it. I understand. He is brutal. He is hard. I'm not trying to tell you he's not. But what I am saying is Luke Cage can counter so many different fights for you, so many different champions in Battlegrounds and Questing, the whole thing. But you see Serpent in Battlegrounds, and you're going to see today the variety of champions. It's not just going to be Mystic champions, a lot of non-Mystic champions. We're going in, we land our heavy because that lands a debilitate, and that is going to increase the length of all the debuffs you land after that. You can see we got up our concussion debuff, right? And we know that that's going to be 75%. Well, you know, big old mean Serpent's got the 125%, but we're all right. We're all right because the other thing that exhaustion debuffs do is they reduce the critical damage rating, but the important part here is they reduce the opponent's ability power rate by 25% for each exhaustion debuff on them, up to a maximum of 6, so that's 150%. So when Serpent tries to do his big mean thing with that Sig 200 signature ability of his, which is what makes his 6 stars usually very difficult to fight, we're A-okay. We don't need to worry about his power gain too darn much. It takes a little bit longer. I'm going to show you a 7-star rank 3 where the health pool is large and you have time to actually get up to 2 concussions thanks to Jaeger. All right, so now Spider-Ham. This is one of the best dual threats in the whole game, but definitely in Battlegrounds. Phenomenal attacker and often can be placed on defense. And if you don't have a counter, you know, like if you go to your special 1 and you stay above your special 1, he's going to gain his nonsense, he's going to evade, he's going to kill you. So having a simple brawler like Luke Cage, who can just go in and do a crap ton of damage, only throwing special 1s, is really, really nice to have. And like I said, I'm winning matches in Mysterium 1, okay, with Luke Cage. And sometimes I win with 47,000, as you see from this, but sometimes you need a little bit higher than that. Sometimes you need a little bit higher than that. So we're going in, like I said, we've landed our heavy, that's that debilitate. So all the debuffs landed afterwards are going to have an extended duration. We've already talked about the massive attack increases that we're getting from having unique debuffs, but also each debuff in general. So all of these exhaustions are doing phenomenal things. If Spider-Ham ability power rate, we would be reversing that right now, but he doesn't. We've got the Sunder up, so he has literally no crit resistance. I don't know if he does natively. I don't care because I have Luke Cage. And let's see the score against a rank 3 Spider-Ham. And this is not a meta that like helped out Science Champions. 50,000. 50,000. You're going to win more often than not with 50,000. Now let's go ahead and see a 7-star rank 3 Serpent. Sig 62. Okay, signature ability 62. So his Sig isn't quite as scary due to the duration and all that stuff. But this is a 7-star rank 3. So he's going to be hitting really hard. That was weird. What the heck was that all about? All right. No clue what that was about. I think that's some bad editing on my part. Who the hell knows? Let's work with it. So as I was saying, 7-star rank 3. So the damage that Serpent's going to do, the amount of health that Serpent's going to have is obviously significantly larger. Well, Luke is a tanky boy. And if you're doing Battlegrounds, you should be spec'd into a Necrod anyways, which is going to help you make him even more tanky. So he's got the big physical resistance. He's laying all these debuffs on. We've got our exhaustions doing the work they should do. Now, this is from Jaeger, right? On the MCoC Illuminati. He knows Luke inside and out. Phenomenally well. Been talking about him for a long time. So he's landed his concussion. He landed his concussion with over 5 exhaustion. So it's a 75% concussion. The other thing, and this is why you've heard me talk about it so much on my channel, why I want Luke Awakened, is because you can play him with this level of aggressiveness. Because he's not concerned. If Serpent throws a special 3, which we all know he's probably going to do, here we go. Luke's just going to go indestructible. The other thing that having the signature ability really helps out with is it helps you with the intercepting, like tempo and pace. That's why some of my scores are a little bit slower and I'm playing a bit more conservatively. Well, Jaeger is playing smart for the fight. He's going in, and now he's hoping to get to his SP2. Oh, he already did. To get up his second concussion, and he completely cancels out Serpent's second life, or immortality, or whatever you want to call it. He just didn't do it. It didn't happen. And Luke Cage, because of the slightly longer health pool of the rank 3 7-star Serpent, has time to get up the second concussion and ends up with a score of, what was that, 47, high 47,000s? Phenomenally well played. I'm not saying it's easy to do, but that's the sort of thing that Luke Cage can do for you in Battlegrounds. Okay, another defender that you often see in Battlegrounds, but this was the side quest. Like I said, I'm going to show you everything. I'm not going to just do Battlegrounds here with you. This was that side quest. It has the breakneck speed, all this stuff. I don't know. I didn't want to really read it, but I knew that if I bring in Luke Cage, one, I'm going to be applying exhaustion debuffs, right? All of his light attacks apply exhaustion debuffs. So I'm not too worried about the node and that sort of stuff. What I want to show you is how great he is for Sasquatch. So as long as we have an exhaustion debuff, which is what comes off of the light attacks, Sasquatch will not gain any of his rage stacks or whatever. There's Wrath of Tanarak, okay? So as long as I keep those up, he will not gain them, and which means he will not be getting up his protection stacks. I will be doing full damage the whole time. So we're going to go in. We've got our 5 exhaustions. We throw our special 2, and we now have up to 75% concussions, reducing his ability accuracy. And I want to make this abundantly clear because I think it's really easy to forget. That's not just defensive ability accuracy. It's just ability accuracy, like all of it, the whole thing, the whole kit, the whole caboodle. Luke is a bad man. And then you can go in, you can throw a special 1. I know he can't like infinitely stun lock, but to get the kit and the champion that we now have that you're seeing do all the things you're doing, I am happy for it. And here's the thing, the special 1, each hit deals a burst of 892 physical damage at rank 3. But also, if a personal concussion is active, the final hit inflicts a stun debuff for 2.5 seconds. Each time the stun is inflicted, its duration is reduced by 50% until the next time Luke inflicts a concussion. You're going to see me utilize it in another fight. So you still do have a really nice long stun debuff there, right? So now we're going in, and remember, so these Mystic champions with their ability power, Mystic Dispersion, that sort of thing, this is a questing fight, so there's no Mystic Dispersion, but you get the point. We got up all of our debuffs. I just now landed a heavy, so it shows you how many debuffs Luke can get up. We're going to go in, throw our special 2. You see how much we're critting, right? It's just a beautiful thing. I should go and throw my striker. Good, I do. Finish off the fight. These were relatively nice size health pools too. The Sasquatch one, I think, was like 336, something like that. On stream, I've taken out a rank 3 Sasquatch while streaming. I wanted to show you the questing one instead. So now this was the Doctor Strange. I wanted to call him Count Nefaria. Crucible, right? Prey on the weak, special inversion, chaos, or defender special attacks. You're gonna go backwards. The whole thing just really scary, right? The defender gains 5% of their max power each time a buff is nullified. All this stuff, right? And Doctor Strange has a natural power gain anyway as he's just going about the fight. what's one way that we can absolutely handle that, right? Let's one way we can absolutely handle that. We're going to be using our light attacks, right? So if you can, you're going to parry and go immediately into a light after you get up to debilitate. So that's why I did it there. Luke also has phenomenal animations. He's one of the old champions of the game, and he used to catch me on specials and his light attacks because they are so incredibly quick. But just watch Dr. Strange's health bar this whole time. We're just beating the crap out of him. He is not gaining power. We're getting these massive exhaustion stacks, and he's just flat out not gaining power because remember, each of them is reducing it by, I think it was 25% all the way up to 6 to 150%. And so as a result, you see Strange's health bar is just going down. I could sit there and do the heavy over and over if I wanted to, but it would not be a good, efficient use of damage. We're now landing those stuns off the special one because there was a concussion on. It's like, he's really, really good, y'all. Like, as I'm making this video, because I did the spicy meter, which is where we talk about like why he's ranked where he is on the various tier lists and those sorts of things, why we have him in the column we do. So I was analyzing it from that. But now that I'm just watching a pure showcase, going over all the fights I've done over the last like month or so, I don't know. I'll have to talk to Illuminati because to me, this is starting to look top tier worthy. Because remember, he's also bleed immune. Okay, moving on. If you get him awakened, he's indestructible. So I want to show you this. This is a rank 5, 6200 Ascended Enchantress. I am far from 100% on her special one, Evade. And now I'm going up against Grass, phenomenal player, extremely high skilled player, runs a fantastic YouTube channel. I'm going to link it in the description. Go check it out if you're not familiar with this channel already. We actually had a mirror match, except he's going up against my 7-star rank 3 Enchantress, and he's using a 7-star rank 2 Luke. I want to show you the score he comes out of this with. So one of the things about Enchantress is if you have a debilitate up on her, it's helpful. It's helpful with her spells. Okay, this isn't going to be an Enchantress video, but it is another added benefit to using Luke Cage, right? So there we go. We've got the debilitate up. I wanted to get that. And I don't want to deal with her specials. I knew I was going to have to go fast against Grass. He's that good. He's that skilled. And he has a Luke Cage on his own. Fortunately for me, Enchantress really played into me. I got a nice aggressive AI that was willing to let me intercept. I also had Stand Your Ground come in and help me out. Grass doesn't watch us back and be like, but it is what it is. So a rank 5 Ascended Enchantress, we face them in Battlegrounds, right? We face them in Battlegrounds. This is the sort of utility, versatility I want to show you out of him. And this is what I want to show you on the other side. Grass was punching up. My Enchantress is actually a rank 3. He was using a 7-star rank 2 Luke Cage, and he still got a score of 48,500. That is a very, very score. Gonna win you a lot of Battlegrounds matches. And he was punching up. Highly skilled player, but punching up. That's what Luke is capable of. Now we're going in against Dust, a really tanky defender, right? She makes you play her game. And when you're in Battlegrounds is often about strategy. It's about deck construction. It's about banning your opponent. It's about hopefully good RNG in the draft, but then you picking drafts and trying to line up your defenders and your attackers as best as possible. For me, like I said, I'm currently in Mysterium 1. Having someone like Luke Cage who can take out all these Mystic Champions for me and do it extremely well, but then also have all this versatility in all these other matchups to be able to reliably take a rank 3 Dust is absolutely massive. Because now I don't need to worry about putting in a champion who does all of this incinerate damage or things like that to get rid of her sand debuffs, right? I don't need to worry about that. I can just go in and do this. She's incredibly, incredibly tanky, but we're going to get up the concussion. We're going to get up all these exhaustions. I can play it relatively safe. If I had the Awakened Luke, I could play a little more dangerously, but I don't, so that's fine. And then watch the score we get. And remember, this is a rank 3 Dust. There's a rank 3 Dust with all of her. I think she has physical resistance. I don't know. She's a very, very tough defender. She's got some added tankiness on. She's got the debuffs. I'm sure they were running equity. And you can see I come up with a win. Score 48,000. Really, really good. I think these are the sorts of strategic decisions Kabam is asking us to make now in Battlegrounds. Let's continue because there's more. Here we go against this future Ant-Man. I've been enjoying doing that lately, and I know some of you commenters have been having fun with it too. It's been a good time. So there are a few fights that have that Eat Crow meta or whatever that does give the Fury buff to Luke. I don't want to, again, we don't hide the ball around here. I did do my best. I want to win my Battlegrounds matchups, but I knew I was doing the showcase as well, or compiling fights for it. And so I did my best not to trigger that too much, or to not to damage basically the opponent too much if I had it. It might sneak through once or twice, but ultimately you're going to see that most of the damage is not coming up while I have that Massive Fury. So same thing, right? You get up your heavy, you get up the debilitate, you start stacking those exhaustions, you go to town. And the other really nice thing about this, I really liked this matchup. I was surprised at how much I liked it. But the other thing that was really nice about it, particularly if Luke was awakened, is you want to intercept future Ant-Man, 50,900. It's going to win. Is that he's very good at intercepting. Now, it's like his animations, it's his flow, and then also having the knowledge that you are indestructible should he be awakened. It's going to help you with your intercepts as well, too. All right. Rank 5 Ascended Hercules. Again, very commonly indexed. A good attacker, and especially if you can intercept well with him and can counter miss and these sorts of things. And then, of course, if you don't have a mystic or a way to get rid of his immortality, he's going to stall out the fight, can help you win some matches. So a couple of things here. I had actually not done this fight before, and I clearly was not on my A game. And you can see there's once or twice, like right there, I did not know the spacing. Luke's heavy is a little short. Whatever. He's not perfect. He's not perfect. It's not his fault. Don't hold that against him. But we're going to go in, and right here, I probably should have waited it out, because watch, you're going to see we're not going to get, we didn't get any concussions. We had the Infuriate on us. And so we really probably could have ended this fight about 5 to 10 seconds faster. It's fine. You're going to see what the total score ends up being. And this is just from Luke, just kind of beating the crap out of Hercules. If you play this a little bit better, I'm sure you can manage it so that you get your concussion up as you're defeating Hercules. And then remember, the concussion, even with a single concussion with 5 exhaustions, is still 75%, giving you a very, very good chance to completely cancel out that his immortality. You do that and you're well above 50,000 points. Going in, Toad. I hate when I see Toads in general. I don't like Toad. I think he's very, very bad. I don't like him. He's fine. He's fine. He's a good champion. I just don't like him. All right. And so, often you're like, okay, I wish I had like a poison resistant champion, like a Mega Sentinel, something like that, or someone who's going to handle his healing, right? It feels to me like Toad's AI, like America Chavez has a heavy bias. It feels like Toad has a backup and go to my corner bias, which is part of why I don't like him. So he can get that healing. So you waste a lot of time if you don't have a heal block option backing up across the string, because you don't want Toad healing in the corner. Now he's getting his healing going. But we're doing A-okay. You're going to see this is going to end up being a pretty good score. And we didn't have to bring in a poison resistant champion. We didn't have to bring in a poison immune champion. None of these things. We're going to get, I think, about 48,000, where I have it on my notes here somewhere here. Yeah, 40. We're going to get a 49,000 score up against Toad, who, again, I'm not trying to show you or tell you that these are the best defenders in the game, these extra ones. Although Dust is really, really good. Future Ant-Man is very, very good. Toad is annoying. Serpent and Enchantress are definitely some of the best defenders in the game. So maybe I am telling you that they're the best defenders in the game. And now I did do this as a standalone video. I knew it wasn't going to perform that well. I didn't care. I wanted to get this out as more people come through this fight. You all told me, many of you told me that Void is actually excellent for it. That's great. This is 9.1. Clairvoyant. So if people have Void, have fun with Void. That's awesome. That really is. But I wanted to include it in here because I think it just helps put every single thing together. I think it was like the perfect fight to end this video with. We're going to be going in, and of course, when we can, we're going to land our Debilitate, right? I've been repeating that because I really want people to understand that it is an important part of using Luke, and it's going to help you keep your debuffs up. Not only do the debuffs do things like help you with ability power rate, make him more tanky, but also they're providing significant levels of attack for him. And remember, it's any debuff. And I want to shout that out. Like Grass in his video showed Luke against a lot of skill champions. It's really cool. And he does a really cool thing there against Kingpin. Now, the reason why you can see in my video, I put, let's say, bye to the node now. This node was giving, I think it was ebb and flow intercept. And then also there's a lot of healing coming with this node, right? Well, when we get our concussion up, you're going to notice a few things just completely be non-existent. You have to line it up well, right? Here we go. And we're going to line it up well because there is also a power sting. And so the node is essentially gone. The protection came back, but as soon as we get the protection down, as soon as we land an intercept, it's gone. That protection will never come back as long as I keep up the concussions. So now at this point, literally all we need to do is make sure we keep up our debilitate. We don't even have to do that, but it is helpful. Do our light attacks to get up our exhaustions. And I'm just going to cycle SP2s. Right now we had 4 of those concussions, all at 75 apiece. So I think that's 300. Yeah, I'm sure some of you will correct me. I'm just doing that really quick off the top of my head. I think 2 is 150 and 4 would be 300. Remember, the concussions only stack twice off of one SP2 against Mystic champions. He is designed to beat up Mystic champions, but against all the other champions, you can try to get up more than one. You saw Jaeger do that very well against the 7-star rank 3 Serpent, canceling out Serpent's immortality phase, and there's going to be other fights and nodes like that. Again, using your debilitate is going to help you out a lot in doing that. So make sure you keep the debilitate up. And then the special one has the stun. If you have a concussion, it's a pretty long stun. It does reduce in duration as you go on, but if you get a new concussion on, you can go back to it. And then we never even talked about the special 3, which is great for longer fights. It inflicts a non-stacking trauma debuff for 30 seconds, causing all hits to deal an additional 20% of the damage dealt as a burst of physical damage. It also inflicts 4 exhaustion debuffs, each reducing critical damage rating by 110 for 30 seconds. I could have shown you Summer of Sorrow Destroyer, because Luke, guess what? Also destroyed that fight as well. But I felt like this video was long enough and I wanted you to be able to click on it knowing you're going to see a lot of awesome fights. He's great, guys. He is. Let me know what you think we got right. Let me know what you think we got wrong. Thank you so much for watching. Take care.